Let's go. What are we doing?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sea House podcast, track by track listening party with the one and only Mark Docherty. Hello, Mark.
Woo, hello. Who are you?
I am Isabella Slivers. I am a freelance journalist, but more than that, I have known Mark for
How long?
10 years now.
Yeah, it's getting towards 10, isn't it? I think. Yeah, no, it's definitely more than that, actually. We met at uni, didn't we? But we didn't go to the same uni. You went to a proper uni, and I went to a fame, but, well, not fame, but BIM, it was called, wasn't it?
There is nothing wrong with BIM.
There was nothing wrong with him. I loved it. I had an amazing time there. I'd recommend anyone to go. But you went to the very prestigious University of Sussex, and we met over at Topshop in the underwear corner, I think.
We met before that, but I realised who you were over the underwear tower when we were tidying it up. We had mutual friends, and they kept telling me, oh, we know this guy called Mark. He goes to our uni. You'll get on with him. And one of our managers was called Mark, and I was thinking, I mean, he's nice, but I don't know if he's like especially going to be my friend.
And then I remember Topshop, like parallel to uni.
But then I remember I looked at you and then I went, what's your name again? And you said Mark, and I went, you're Mark, and that is how we came to be.
And we bonded over a mutual love of roast dinners, and that's what we did every Sunday after our shift. We'd find roast in Brighton until we got our local, RIP the Pull and Pump. It's still there, they just don't do roast anymore.
It was never the same when they let that chef go.
No, it really wasn't. They tried burgers, it didn't work. Anyway, but yeah, we've been friends ever since, and yeah, through many rises and falls and parties, especially pirate New Year's parties. But yeah,
many life moments
for life, man.
We've been with each other through breakups on my end, marriages on your end, children on your end. But today we are here to discuss another momentous occasion in your life. Yeah. The release of Reckless Abandon, your album, in June 2023. Pause for applause.
Thank you. I had to look up when I released it because it's been that long now, and I've kind of not forgotten about it, but I'm working on the follow-up, so it was nice to go back and listen to all of these songs again and think, I'm chatting to Izzy tonight about this. Why did I write any of these things? What is this about? Why did I make that snare drum too loud? You know, usual things that you do when you're self-critical.
Well, why did you release Reckless Abandon? What was it about this time in your life that led to these songs being unleashed on the world?
Yeah, what's the world done wrong? I was in bands the whole time you've known me. You must be sick about me saying I've got a new project, like my Facebook page. I've been doing bands on and off. I was in Team New Band for a long time. We were very good friends, and we had some success. We got a record deal, but it wasn't meant to be. It was a bad record deal. We got murked, I believe is the term, or ripped off or shanked by Animal Farm Publishing, who were a dodgy record label in London. Don't sign with them. I will put that name out there. Terrible
Allegedly.
people. Yeah. No, they did. I've got proof. Anyway, that went poorly. And then after that, we were in a rock band called Harry Debbie, which dealt with darker themes because we were annoyed about that. And it was all going really well. We were on the way to having like a regular night at a place near Tower of London or Tower Bridge, one of the two. A nice place in London. And then before that residency could kick off, COVID happened, and my whole life changed, and so did everybody else's.
Good old COVID.
I know, right? So the band broke up. I moved up north to Liverpool, where I am now, and I was alone, as we all were, just trapped in a room. And I was like, well, I still want to make music. I'm gonna write an album because I've always wanted to do an album. Every band I've ever been in has always done EPs, and I probably will release more EPs in my life, but I've never really, I'm an album guy. I like to sit down with a glass of red wine or a bottle, if anyone knows me, and just digest an album and fall into an artist's work. And I thought, you know what, if we're going to do a solo album, why not why not just like dive in and do a whole album rather than just like an EP or that kind of thing. And then I released the first single, which we'll get onto. I'm teasing you. And Matt Castle from Sea House reached out and went, "Why didn't you put this out through Sea House Records? Come join us." And I did, and I've been there ever since. And here we are now, trying to flog the dead horse that is my album that came out half a year ago.
But it took 3 years, it's 6 months in the grand scheme of things. It's not that long when you were working on these songs for 3 years. So we're going to go in track by track and talk about each song on the album. But generally, broadly, what was going through your mind when you were writing these songs, recording them? Who were your kind of main influences? What themes were you wanting to touch on?
Oh, so isolation's a big one because we were all isolated. I know life is #normal now, but it's not, is it? We all went through massive trauma as a society, and then everyone has trying to kind of pretend that's fine. So a lot of it deals with that. I've had, as you said, some changes in my life personally, so been dealing with that, issues with mental health, mainly on that. I mean, my biggest inspiration is David Bowie. As you know.
Always.
There's actually a very good picture online somewhere of me dressed as David Bowie from Labyrinth. And are you a cat? It was at Halloween.
I think I'm a cat.
I think you're a cat too. It cocked up recently, that's why I know.
I think I was a cat, or was I Batwoman? Unsure.
Some kind of
creature.
Feline, yeah. But yes, so David Bowie's my biggest inspiration. So he often dealt with feelings of isolation, feeling like you don't belong, anxiety, mental health. His brother was famously had those issues. And yeah, I've kindred spirit in that regard. So I struggle with mental health. And yeah, the pandemic really exacerbated that. So this was kind of my way of dealing with that, and just trying to make something positive out of it. It sounds cliche, I know, but trying to own the fact that, yeah, we're going through a tough time right now. I want to document this time and ride the storm and ride through it. So, yeah, it's a bit heavy, especially for a debut. You want to come out and be like, like Palanatini when he did, like, I got my new shoes on. And so,
wait, was that not second album, Palanatini?
I'm pretty sure that's first album, isn't it?
I will stand corrected.
Jenny, don't be hasty.
That was a good song, and is a good song.
He's not got a bad album, Paolo. He's not an inspiration for this album.
He's getting better.
He's getting better. He's like a fine wine. Ooh, you just reminded me, that is a good album. But yeah, the usual suspects for me, really, inspiration. It's David Bowie, it's Prince. I've still got the picture you gave me up there on my wall. This is audio only, but I'm just showing Izzy. She got me the mugshot of Prince when he got arrested. And Jack White, I love him. So Nick Cave as well. Over the pandemic, I really got into his music, especially the pressure themes and how to turn that into hopefully beautiful art, and just kind of lean into the darkness.
Yeah, I think it's important that we do. I was having a conversation the other day actually about why people speak about their mental health and are open about it. And I know for me, I'm very deliberately open about it. I make a very conscious choice because I think if I talk about it, I don't feel any shame. I don't feel any discomfort talking about it. For me, it's very normal. It just is what it is. Nothing I can do about it except therapy and medication. But for some people, they do feel a bit nervous and ashamed. And so I speak so that they feel like they can speak up to, and it's okay. And so I think it's really important to have music that you can turn to that deals with themes that you're also feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the qualities I really admire about you. And when I was asked to kind of find someone to interview me about this, I was like, Izzy, she'll get it. And yeah, I just think there's no point in hiding away from it. It's something we all deal with. And yeah, to have that kind of comfort blanket of a song you can lean into and go, someone else feels rubbish too. Hooray! It's nice. What does misery love?
Company!
Exactly. I'm going to edit that together so that was quicker. Or I'll leave it in. I don't know.
And what about musically? So, we've spoken about the themes, and we've spoken about your inspirations, but musically, this sound, you mentioned that, it is a bit darker, and it might be something that's a bit grungier than people are used to from your previous band. So is this like a new direction for you, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. It's an amalgamation of things. Basically, it's a man trying to figure out what he's doing. because usually I had bandmates to lean on that would help me like point in a direction, and we only had the instruments in the room. But the problem with being at home is I can download the BBC Orchestra at the touch of a button, so that's on there. Thanks BBC for that. You're not great at investigating allegations, but you're really good at free orchestra plugins.
Those emails were lost, Mark. They were lost. Allegedly.
Clumsy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I've heard that word a lot today. Anywho. But yeah, musically, I was kind of borrowing whatever tools fitted the song. So there's some which have a kind of like a soundscape feel. There's one that is basically my version of the Succession theme tune, which we'll get onto later. It's got like creepy piano, descending riffs, and you know the one. I know
exactly what you're talking about, but we will come on to that.
We'll get to that, yeah. But I've just borrowed from different influences from around my life and just put everything out there. I think my next record, the one I'm working on at the moment, is going to be called Kill Your Heroes. And that's going to be a little bit more straightforward in terms of I've got a band now, didn't have one when they started, to kind of showcase these songs. I want to go in much more of a band-focused direction and simplify things, more for my own sanity than anything, because I was listening back to the album today thinking, why did I put like 4 keyboards on this that are arguing sonically? And yeah, I just want to simplify everything.
But music is a moment in time, right? So the music that you put out on this album reflected your state of mind, your taste, your emotions, your feelings at that moment in time. And I'm sure any artist looks back. I mean, look at Arctic Monkeys. They consistently tell us they will never be the band who plays a record like AM again, despite how much we all want it.
I know, but
we're leaning heavily into the car tranquility base. So I think it's totally normal for things to shift and change. And, you know, the pace at which we're all consuming and creating at the moment, it's only natural that something that you were working on 3 years ago maybe doesn't feel like the artist you are today.
No, exactly. And plus it's logistically a nightmare. I'd have to take like a keyboard as well as like a guitar, and then it's finding someone else to play it. It's a sad state of the industry, actually. I mean, a lot of bands you'll find are downsizing in terms of their lineup because they just can't afford to take 5 people on the road. Like, we've got a 3-piece because, you know, 2 of us have got children. It's hard to find time. It's the reality of, you know, a fledgling musician is you've just got to kind of work it around life. Whereas, it's not possible in my current setup to have like a 16-piece band, although I'd love it. Guess the saxophones in there.
Never say never. One day, Mark.
No. Should we dive into some track by track?
Let's dive in. So this is a 12-track album. So we have 12 songs to talk about. And the opening song is How Has It Come to This? Do you want to tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind this song and how this made it to the opening track of the album?
It starts off and it's just chaos. It's cacophony of me hitting my guitar literally, and going and hitting all the bits you're not supposed to, like behind the note, going ding 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 ding, like Josh Homme does sometimes, and just making a cacophony of noise until it erupts into this riff that's kind of driving. And instead of like a traditional chorus, it's kind of just got a tagline of how has it come to this? And I just kept coming back to it because we were all sat at home. And it was like, so I can go jogging once a day now. I have to queue for toilet paper. Like, how has it come to this? And each verse talks just about a different thing in our society that's kind of gone a bit haywire. Like, you know, if you look at how many friends you've got on Facebook, for example, and then how many friends you can invite out to the pub, the numbers don't generally add up.
It's don't add up.
What's the lyric? It's 1,000 friends, still lonely. How has it come to this? It just talks about these themes in life that have kind of morphed with the changing times and with the current climate. And yeah, world's a bit messed up, isn't it? It's my Black Mirror intro to the album of kind of, this is the world we're living in. How has it come to this? I mean,
I think it asks the listener a question. It sets the tone for, you know, we're going to go through the next 11 tracks as well, but it sets the tone for the rest of the album and sets some of those themes up, and starts the listener thinking about this question as they go through the rest of the music. And I think it was really interesting as well that you went in with the vocal distortion, particularly on this opening track. So what was the thinking behind that? What were you trying to convey with your vocals here?
I just wanted to get across the the kind of the frustration I was feeling at that current time. Just wanted it to be like, the video to Sleep Now in the Fire by Rage Against the Machine, where they're playing on Wall Street and he's shouting through like a megaphone. It's that kind of, when you just narrow the voice so it's more direct and it's like literally addressing the listener, like, how has it come to this? We've let we've let people slip into poverty they didn't need to. We've isolated ourselves, even though we're more connected than we ever have been. How has it come to this? I just keep coming back to the question, but that is like you say, it's the call and the responses. I want the listener to engage and listen and think about, oh yeah, this is a bit rubbish.
And so was this one of the first songs that you wrote, or did it just kind of scream out at you that it needed to come first?
This is one of the fastest songs I wrote on the album. Any of the songs take different ways and means. The lyrics came first with this one, and then I was in the good old key of E flat and just bashing the hell out of it and trying to come up with like an opening track, basically. I was like, right, this is a good point to make right at the top of the record. Should we let the music do the talking?
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
All right, this is How Has It Come to This? The opening track. How has it come to this? What did you think, Izzy? Was it nice?
I loved it, and I think it's a really strong opener to the album as well. As we just said, it sets everything up so nicely, and it also gives, I think, the listener more to look forward to. So it's good. I like it.
Thanks. Continuing with this, we get to Saying Goodbye, which was my first single I actually released off this album. This was like my foray into solo Mark world, because everything before I'd been in a band. So I filmed a video for this by myself. I put it up online and was just like, I hope people like it.
So talk to me about the song. So tell me what Saying Goodbye is about, and how much of these songs are based on real life experiences?
That's a good question. I don't think any good songwriter should ever really answer fully.
Sneaky, I like it.
Yeah. So no, I can tell you what this, again, breaking my own rule as I've just established it. Now, this is an amalgamation of things. Things in my life were changing. I was quite literally saying goodbye to a lot of things. I was saying goodbye to London, to a lot of my close friends, you included.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Yes, it's that. I was saying goodbye to a job. I had a job in the music industry for the best part of 9 years. So that was tough to say goodbye to, stepping into a new industry. You know, it was, it's about that moment where you feel like, okay, something has to change. I need to say goodbye to these things. And yes, it's going to be painful, but the payoff is going to be better, I hope. And it's just about stepping into the unknown. But yeah, the video, that came about just basically, what can I film on my own? Because we've got a young child, and it's hard to like get someone to hold the camera for me. So I was just like, if I just do it like security cam footage and then just have it and just drive along in my car and sing along to it. And it was a really positive experience, you know, stepping out into this thing alone, putting my video out there, trying to get my art out there and being like, look, I did a thing. Yay. It's, you know, it's just nice. It's just nice.
It's a vulnerable thing to do as well, to put music out there. And I think, you know, we look at rock stars as like these, well, I know how I look at rock stars, but, you know, people look at them and they're super confident and, you know, they just have conviction. But actually, there's a lot underneath it. And it can be quite vulnerable to put this music out there and put, like you say, your art out there. And so did you film this alone? This wasn't filmed during COVID, right? But
No, this is after. So like the songs were written and then recorded and like produced by me. I just did it all myself. So the last thing to come was the video. It just took a day. Drove out to Crosby Beach, near where I live, and filmed amongst the Anthony Gormley statues, because it's like, that's a perfect metaphor for what I'm trying to do here. We're all in an ocean of uncertainty. Oh, it's wheels within wheels. And yeah, like I said, just what shots can I film on my own?
Yeah.
That was the limitation. But yeah, I'm really happy with this song. I think it holds up.
And the backing vocals as well, that's you again, right? So you filmed your own backing vocals, the guitar, the main vocals. What else did you perform?
It's all me. There's the one backing. I love that you did the backing vocals. So it's the only time I've ever consciously done a harmony, because I'm really bad at like picking them out. I have a friend called Tarek, shout out Tarek Khawaja, who's an excellent singer, and he could always pick out a harmony that I could just famously never do it. So I was like, I'll do the root, shall I? And you do the harmony. And he was comfortable with that arrangement. But yeah, it's in the bridge. I do a harmony. Listen out for that. It's coming up next.
Let's get into it.
All right, this is Saying Goodbye.
I don't have to take abuse. Sit there on your throne. Your capable lies can keep you warm. Looking back alone, throwing up your poison pills. The gaslight never got hard enough to break my skin. You built me from scraps and you made me believe that you were the only thing I could achieve. Pandora's box open, I chose to run. I've shut out the darkness, I'm chasing the sun. I'm saying goodbye, saying goodbye, saying goodbye, saying goodbye, saying goodbye, saying goodbye. All of the silence cutting out the rot. This canceling it far too long. Your gospel is a sham. Say a prayer, move it on, and say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. Saying goodbye. Saying goodbye. Saying goodbye. Saying goodbye.
We're saying goodbye.
In case you can't tell, in the edit, we're not listening to these songs all the way through. Sorry to ruin the magic.
I know, we did prep earlier in the day because we are prepared and both have busy lives. And again, I can't thank Izzy enough for doing this for me. She's a beautiful human being, and that is staying in the edit.
Well, you know, talk to me about Pay My Debt. So this, again, slightly different to the first two songs. We're moving things along a little bit. Where did this song come from?
Isn't everyone's skin? No,
Cost of living.
This was written. What was Joe Lycett calling it? The Cos He Lives.
The Cos He Lives.
It was written during the culmination of the Cos He Lives, which is still happening, obviously, but it was when energy companies were just like hiking our bills up by 300 quid for no reason. Yeah, so that was lyrically, that's what it's about. It's about everyone just kind of trying to struggle along, and the government not being much help about that. But musically, it's just a bit fun, this one, because this is quite nerdy, I've always wanted to write a song in 5/4. Which is
this is not nerdy. This is your job. Like, you love this. It's not nerdy.
I do love this, but it's nerdy why I like it, because it's an odd time signature, so it's constantly unsettling. So the famous examples are Take 5 by Dave Brubeck, 15 Step by Radiohead, Mission Impossible theme, dun 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 dun, because it never settles, and it's just like constantly getting at you and getting at you.
Neither does Tom Cruise.
No, that's true. That's another podcast. we could do a whole series on that. But yeah, it just never settles, and it just constantly grows its momentum. And I think a lot of people are left, with that rolling avalanche towards them of, well, who's going to pay all this in the end? Like, I can only work so hard. I can only do what I can do. If the world is unlivable, why charge me for it? You know what I mean? So This is spun out frustration. That's why it crescendos like to the end. And musically, I am just ripping off Dave Brubeck and Radiohead and just kind of smushing them together to kind of live my best jazz life.
It's so interesting hearing you talk about the backstory to all these songs, because I know you and I have listened to these songs, but I think hearing not the rationale, but hearing the explanation behind them and how some of them are maybe a bit more metaphorical, whereas this one is quite specific. We are all struggling with money, and that leads to so many other things. That's not a small thing, So I saw this Instagram post the other day, and I think it was like it said you can't budget your way out of poverty or something like that. Yeah. And we are in a situation, and there's no alleged here, where the government are not supporting the majority of the country. So yeah, it's really interesting to hear the backstory behind this song in particular.
Thanks. Yeah, and I mean, it touches on it at the start of the album as well. How's it come to this? What is it? Shall I eat or heat this week? That was genuinely like a quote that was being bandied around at the height of the Cos He Lives. Which is just heartbreaking. We live in what is supposed to be a civilized world. But yeah, let's go with that merriment into the 5/4 chaotic cacophony that is Pay My Debt. And please listen to it a lot, and then it will pay my debt.
Just run out. Jury, judge, and hangman in no
That was Pay My Debt.
So, as Mark said, I hope you will be listening to this song. Where can we catch your album, Mark? We're a quarter of the way in, so where can we listen?
All right, maths. Yeah, it's on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Tidal. Remember, Tidal is still a thing. I know.
Wow.
I know, right? Deezer. There's loads of them. Wherever music is.
YouTube?
That's where I am. Yeah, YouTube.
We said YouTube, yes.
I actually did a video to Pay My Debt I forgot to talk about. That was, again, one I had to film on my own. I was riding high off saying goodbye, so I went pure art house with it. Filmed it all in black and white in this very small room where the whole album came to be. Just with a handheld camera and some masking tape on my face, wearing a full suit. And my wife would come in and she'd just be like, "What are you doing?" And I've just got masking tape over both my eyes and my mouth. Like, I'm just filming a video, love.
You also you need no excuse to wear a suit. You love a suit.
I do love a suit. That's right.
Speaking of Sunday best, we want to make this biblical. Track 4 on the album is No Saint.
Love that segue. Can't you tell us it's a professional, everybody?
Well, this song in particular struck me as very dark and very moody, and really felt like a reflection of the themes that we've been speaking about, of being in this headspace where things aren't easy. So talk to me about No Saint. Tell me more.
No Saint is one of those, it's like a reflection on how do you treat yourself. So for me, I'm quite self-deprecating. I do it in a jokey way, but I think it might have been, and this is pure wanky for me to bring up, but I think Bruce Lee said, be careful how you talk about your body because it doesn't understand the difference between sarcasm and reality. So if you're saying like, "Oh, I need to lose some weight, I'm really fat," your body's like, "Oh, I feel sad about that," and it's not helping anything. You're just vocalizing. Yeah. But you just got to be kind to yourself. Essentially, is the message that I'm very badly stating because I'm on my second can of Guinness. It's been a hard Monday. But yes, so basically this is me reflecting on past missives, past things I've done where I've not been the best version of myself. And, you know, like, yeah, I could have done things better, but I'm not saying, hey, no one's perfect. Give yourself a break. So the chorus is, I've got sins, so throw your stones. It's the taking that biblical message and just like, you know, I'm not religious in the slightest, but I like the mythology, I like the stories, I like the general message, just not a big fan of the institution. So it's just nice to try and reinterpret that in a way that I hope means something to somebody and hope helps them on that mental health journey.
And that's very positive as well, you know, because we all know that feeling of trying to go to sleep at night and then you remember an embarrassing thing you did 10 years ago that your brain will never let you forget. But, you know, slightly more deeper than that, you have those moments that we all have regrets. We all have done things that we're ashamed of, not proud of, or, you know, just are a symbol of a different time in our lives. And so I think it shows real growth to be able to, like you say, be kind to yourself and go, well, that was then and this is now and things are different. There's nothing you can do about it except listen to this song maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Should we listen to it?
Let's go.
I'm no saint, but I'm not Satan. Sick and tired of feeling sorry for myself. My back breaks under the weight. Skeletons push my face in the dirt. Dr. Jekyll hiding behind Mr. Hyde. I don't deserve your forgiveness, my dear. My nightingale, my shining light. I've got sins of royal stone, tell wounds I try to close. I've got sin so royal stones, I can't take the hit. I'm no saint, but I've caused pain. Doesn't mean I need to spend eternity in flame. The black dog, he won't let me forget. Keeps his claws tight in the back of my neck. Didn't claim to be Messiah. Didn't claim to be a fallen angel, no. I'll just keep flapping my wings in between. Keep on trying to grow. I've got sins of royal stone, tell wounds I try to close. I've got sin so royal stones, I can't take the hit. I've got sins of royal stone, tell wounds I try to close. I've got sin so royal stones, I can't take the hit.
Having a burp. Hang on. All right, that was No Saint. Hopefully you've come to a nice realization. You've sang along to that very high chorus. I regret writing, and
It's good to set yourself challenges, Mark.
yeah. Well, this is another thing with the new album. I'm kind of the first album, Reckless Abandon. I really explored my limits, and playing them live, I've been like, "Ooh, shouldn't have written that, should we?" So now I'm not reining in my limits, but I'm just saying, stay in your lane, girl. And I'm trying to stay in my lane a bit more. So
No,
I'm
Mark, you need to
absolutely good.
stay in your lane. This is what I'm
Okay.
hoping from you.
Okay, girl.
Well, track number 5. Track number
Title
5
track.
is Reckless Abandon. It is the title track of the
Mhm.
album. What qualifies this song to be the title track? What does it mean to you?
It's just the highest chorus I've ever written. No, I really wanted an anthemic song. The first band I ever saw live was Oasis.
That tracks.
Man City Stadium. My family kind of took me when I was young. It was Don't Believe the Truth. It was that tour. But we had good seats. And then but they were right at the back, which apparently was the best place to be because that's where all the sound goes.
Oh,
we
wow.
we got to sit there, and Oasis, being Oasis, have built a giant sound tower right in front of where we're sitting, so we can't see the stage.
No!
Dad's fuming, Mum's fuming. I'm just like, oh, it's lovely here. I love music. What are we doing? Why are we moving? So we're on our way back to the steward to be like, look, come on, like, I can't see anything. But they're on their way to find us. They say, don't worry, Mr. Docherty, follow us. We get escorted to a private box. We have the Man City Stadium, Oasis playing, private box. I couldn't drink yet. Apart from that, it was great. And yeah, it probably changed my life forever. Not long after, I bought a very regretful Union Jack guitar, like Noel, and started writing songs. So yeah, this is my take on Oasis, fused with a little bit of Dinosaur Jr. And it's, again, this is a positive message of trying to, step out on your own and do something positive for yourself, because God, we only get to live once, and you may as well actually live and enjoy life. So why not?
We need to take this back a step. This song represents the origins of Mark Docherty, the musician. We need to take a moment to respect that moment.
That's why it's only 4 chords. Sorry, I ruined it, didn't I? I do this.
Let's listen to those 4 chords, Mark. Play me the 4 chords. This song is a special song, so we need to give it the attention it deserves.
All right, then. This is Reckless Abandon.
Door, but I feel fine. Can't heal the fear from on this cloud. Keep your nihilist negativity held down. Breathe out, breathe in. Work out where to begin. Breathe out, breathe in. Feel at home in your skin and feel alive. Feel free. Turn your executive arrest in life, or if it's wasting me, keep on searching for that freedom. how, where to begin? Breathe out, breathe in, feel at home in your skin, and feel alive.
Reckless Abandon. I'm gonna get tired of listening to that. Thank you.
Title track is a big song.
It is a big song, and yeah, I'm really proud of that one. That's one I will keep playing, I reckon.
Good.
We're getting to halfway through.
We are. Are we halfway? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are pretty much halfway through. So the halfway mark, people have listened to a good chunk of the album. Now we're moving into She Loves Me. Now, I was lucky enough to be a bridesmaid at your wedding, and I have known you and your wife for, like we said, 9-10 years. Who even knows? So tell me about She Loves Me, because I could pick out some moments in there that reminded me of your beautiful wife. Talk to me.
This is it. This is about when I met my wife and our story and how lovely she is. And I don't really want to say anything more because I know I'll embarrass her. So I just want to let the song do the talking. It's a bit Beatlesy. It's called She Loves Me. I'm just grateful for that. So yeah, I told you I'd write a song about you, Jay.
And how do you encapsulate your wife sonically and musically?
Oh, well, it was funny because I was trying to write. I was like, I'm gonna write a song for her on this album because I'm notoriously bad at that. Weirdly, because it's too real and it's too cheesy. And me and my wife have a lovely relationship in which we make fun of each other all the time. So every time I try to write a serious, like, I love you, like, love song, it always just felt like she'd just be rolling her eyes. So instead I went back to, like, the White Stripes and the Beatles and was like, I'm just going to write a fun, happy love song. And then this is what this is. So it's simple. Again, 3-4 chords, maybe. And, yeah, I just wanted to keep it upbeat because we have a lovely, happy relationship. And, why not encapsulate that in a song?
Again, this tracks. I think you need to remind everyone what your first dance was at your wedding.
It was Hotel Yorba by the White Stripes.
Again, fun, upbeat, very much along the lines of what you just described for this song. So it feels very authentic. It feels very you.
Thank you. Yeah, we chose Hotel Yorba because it was 2 minutes long and that meant we didn't have to dance together for that long.
The wedding was fun, I have to say. It was a very fun night.
Best wedding I've ever had, I'll tell you that. But yeah, without getting too awkward, here's She Loves Me.
We were young when we met, we didn't know better. She stepped right out of my dreams. She wasn't real, she had those Disney eyes. I fell into her pool of blue and green. I was told she had won. I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. Next day I took her to the carnival. Made a point of dodging the fast ride. Now we were alone, I told her how I felt. And I was gonna lead her to a better life. She was done she loved me. She loved me. She loved me. She loved me. Years later in a fairy tale, the king and queen of our castle were living the dream. Knees buckle, I still get butterflies when she hits me with that blue-green laser beam. She loves me. She loves me. Yes, she loves me. She loves me. I can't believe my love. Yes, she loves me. I've been stars before. Yes, she loves me. I'll never have enough. Yes, she loves me. I'm feeling so in love. She loves me.
She loves me. I love it. We love you. What more is there to say?
Oh, I love you. Now we've done the soppy stuff. There's only one. I think there's a lot of like positive songs in that, but I think that's the only happy, like out and out happy song on the album.
Maybe. We've got a couple more to talk about.
I know, but we're over the hump.
We are over the hump. We're on to track 7. Track 7 is Scab. So we all know what the implications of a scab are. You know, it's something that you pick at. It's something that's kind of healed over, but not quite yet. It's something that is a reminder of a painful time. And again, musically, the song is a bit harder than some of the others on the album. So
yeah.
How were you feeling with this song? What are you trying to say here?
I wrote this about, and it's such an overreaction. I had just like a bad day at work once, and I used to work at Topshop in Barrow, and there was this manager there who was just horrible, just a little scab. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say too much because you know it's not nice, and it was an overreaction. But she was just always on my case, always just picking at me. I was like, I wish I could just pick you off and flick you away. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that relationship is the basis for the lyrics of this song, and then the music. It's very Queens of the Stone Age. It's very hard, and I love Queens. Yeah, I love Josh Homme and his songwriting, and I think this was my best attempt. Like, it's an out and out rock song. It descends into madness at the end. That's a riff I've had since 2012. The ending riff.
And you were just waiting for the right time to use it.
Yeah, that's it. I just collect bits, and when the time is right, unleash them upon the world and hope that people like them.
I think it's interesting as well. You know, we spoke earlier about those moments that keep you awake, those tiny embarrassing things that you do. But then this is about, you know, a manager. You had a bad day at work years and years ago, but these are the moments that stick with you. And when you have something like anxiety, like something so innocuous and so small can, you know, happen, and it will send me into a spiral. So I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that very small things can have a very big impact. And now this allegedly awful woman is immortalized forever in this song.
Yeah, I've made a part of my life. What have I done?
Does she still work there? Oh no, Topshop's closed.
Yeah, it has.
Gone.
I was happy about that when that happened, purely for this reason. I was like, screw you.
Sometimes it's good to be petty, you know. I'm not of the opinion that you always have to be the bigger person. Like, sometimes people just need to be taken down a peg or two, you know?
And with that in mind, here's Scab.
Every day I lose a part of me. Yeah.
Gab, we are now moving on to Relentless Perfection. So to me, this song is one of the most obvious songs about mental health and dealing with, and as you mentioned before, we all have mental health. Some of us have great mental health, some of us have poorer mental health. It changes based on the day. So Relentless Perfection to me the title is very indicative of what the song is about, and always chasing this perfection. There's no other word for it, but it's often unattainable.
Well, this is it. You see it in all walks of life, and music especially. Every drum kit needs to sound perfect. Everything needs to be polished. Everything needs to be radio ready. And then you have people who take the extremes of like makeup enhancements and plastic surgery and just trying to chase this dream that doesn't exist, especially like on Instagram and stuff like that, where you see like even something like, here's my bedtime routine to put down my 4 kids. And it's like, so not only do you do this every night and it seems impossible, you also recorded it, got your husband to hold the camera, got all your kids to behave for it, and you're not a psychopath.
Children do not behave. This is not a thing that they do.
No, I never have. But yeah, so it is. You've hit the nail on the head. It is just about why are we trying to chase these unattainable goals? It's not healthy. It's not good for us. The people who designed the apps have said we made them addictive on purpose, and they truly are. You're chasing a dream, and you're never going to catch it. So why bother? Just be happy with who you are and be the best person that you can be. But
I really think social media has, obviously had such a huge impact. I always think back to this study, and actually maybe let me rephrase what I just said. I think media in general has had a huge impact. I always think back to this study, and I can never remember exactly what it was, but it was an island, a place in New Zealand or Hawaii or somewhere like that, and the people who lived there did not have TV, and they did kind of a survey of how they felt about their bodies beforehand, and then they introduced TV, and then they did a survey about their bodies after that, and all of a sudden these people who were perfectly happy with the way that they looked and felt beforehand had issues. And I think comparison, what's the phrase? Comparison
is the theft of joy. George Bernard Shaw, who wrote Pygmalion.
And I think it's so true. And it's also not to turn this into a sociological, anthropological study, but it's also who we compare ourselves to. For a lot of us, we don't see people who look like us, and therefore me comparing myself to someone who's, I don't know, white and Irish and tall and has a different body shape to me, that's never going to work, because I have Indian genes, and therefore I am going to look different. And it's about recognizing this.
Exactly. You're completely right. You're comparing yourself to fiction, and why bother? Like, it's not going to help, is it? You're doing well. You're getting out of bed in the morning. That's something. And even if you're not, hope your bed's comfy. That's all right. Chill out.
You've just reminded me, I've got to make my bed sheets after this call, and I'm not looking forward to that. But maybe I can do it in the 3 minutes we listen to Relentless Perfection.
I bet you can.
Everyone else, cute pets, nice food, and mental health. Can't sleep, I need the best life. Can't sleep, I need the best life. Can't sleep, doom scrolls till the morning light. Relentless perfection, only looking for this. Relentless perfection, for the wicked blinds are down. Climb the walls and I can't get out. Climb the walls, climb the walls, climb the walls and I can't get out. Relentless, relentless perfection. Only looking for this. Relentless, relentless perfection. For the wicked we get no rest. Relentless, relentless perfection. Just follow the herd. Relentless, relentless perfection. We get what we deserve. Can't sleep, I need the best life. Can't sleep, can't sleep. Doom scroll till the morning light. Relentless, relentless perfection. Only looking for this. Relentless, relentless perfection. For the wicked we get no rest. Relentless, relentless perfection. Just follow the herd. Relentless, relentless perfection. We get what we deserve.
Alright, we're back. That was Relentless Perfection, about our insatiable need to be perfect and it being absolutely unattainable, so why bother?
And my bed sheets are still unmade.
Never mind. But like, of all the things that they can invent, they can't sort laundry out. It's ridiculous.
A zippable duvet? A
don't know.
washable duvet?
A sleep sack that cleans itself that you just get into like an astronaut. I don't know.
No, babies have sleep sacks.
I know, they look class.
So, but then isn't it just a sleeping bag?
It is just a sleep bag, yeah. Which, to be honest, are cozy.
All right, we
Anyway.
need to think about this more. We need to think about this more.
We got a Dragon's Den idea coming. All right.
But while we think about this, let's move on to track 9.
Track 9.
I can never pronounce this correctly. Bourbon Tangerine?
Bourbon Tangerine.
Bourbon Tangerine. I always want to say Bourbon, but that's a biscuit.
That is a biscuit. And a town. No,
What-
is it a town?
No, that's Bourneville.
That is Barnville, you're right.
You are speaking to someone from Birmingham. Do not insult me.
I'm very sorry.
Bourbon Tangerine is a very different song to all of the others on the album. It's much slower. It's much more stripped back. What were you hoping to do with this? And, you know, it being track 9, we're kind of 3/4 of the way through. Why did you want to slow things down for a moment?
I just wanted to take a beat because whereas Relentless Perfection, the track we've just heard, is like production-wise, there's a lot going on. It's very sparkly. It's too many guitars on it, if I'm honest. It's just a bit bombastic. It's, you know, it's chaotic purposefully to try and show you how ridiculous the world is sonically. In my head, obviously, I hope that comes across. So I wanted to just really strip it back to bare bones. Guitar and vocals. This is a lot of the songs on this album were done like over numerous different takes, me coming in and out and trying to get the best possible vocal take. Whereas Bourbon Tangerine, I just recorded it 3 times and picked the best one, and then that was it.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to capture that Beckness, if that makes sense. I love the album Sea Change by Beck. It's one of my favourite albums. And I just wanted to try and do my best version of that. And I do love my acoustic, I just don't play it enough because I learned on electric, so it's more natural for me to pick up an electric and go diddle-diddle-doo rather than.
She's your first love, the electric.
She is. She's up there somewhere. If you can't see, but there's guitars on the wall behind me. But yeah, it's stripped back, but also the vocals and the lyrics are very real to me and very personal. So this is about as low as I get lyrically, because it is just my experience, how I feel inside, and I'm not going to talk about it because I'm just going to let the music do the talking, baby.
Hit play.
But yeah, it's the saddest song on here, so enjoy. I hope you come back.
Out of shape, out of style, out of love to give. Wake up, white pill, stare into the abyss. Serotonin sleeping, she won't get out of bed. So Telegram shakes up, I think she might be dead. Just pour that bourbon tangerine, drinking my feelings with that bourbon tangerine, to numb this waking dream. On the go, take a stroll, I'm out here living my worst life. I used to care what they thought, what they shared, what they didn't like. Now I'm deaf to it, don't see it, look at me. I'm floating on the ocean of anxiety alone, feeling cold without my phone. Just pour that bourbon tangerine, drink up my feelings with that bourbon tangerine, to numb this waking dream. Bourbon tangerine, take me away from me. Bourbon tangerine, just lose me out at sea. Bourbon tangerine, take me away from me. Bourbon tangerine, just lose me out at sea.
And that was Bourbon Tangerine. Interestingly enough, I forgot to say that the reason it's called Bourbon Tangerine was because I was at a low point in lockdown. I ran out of oranges, but I really wanted an old-fashioned. So I did have a couple of tangerines, so I thought, that's going to work.
Look, it's experimental. You're making the most of what you got. You're zero waste. It's sustainable. I love it.
It's admirable. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it doesn't work. It does. Like, you get a similar thing. It's not as nice at all, and there's a lot of bits in it.
But this is a good question, actually. What were you drinking predominantly while you were making this album? So you've got a Guinness in hand right now. I know you're a red wine man, but what would you say is the drink of this album? For me, it's giving whiskey on the rocks, but you tell me.
I mean, I'd go with that. I mean, whiskey, definitely. I think bourbon in particular, which I can't remember the difference, but there is one. Something about barrels.
Something about casks. I was going to say something about casks.
And barrels and Tennessee, but I'm a walking cliche. I'm a Jack Daniels man. So Jack Daniels with whatever mixer you fancy is probably the accompaniment for this album. But we're probably getting into red wine territory now. Or if you start, it depends how you like your night to go. I like to wind down with something bit casual, but you might want to start red wine and whiskey though. They're you've got me bang to rights.
Got to. Now, question for you. We are now talking about track 10, Waiting for the Fall. You mentioned earlier that you composed a song that was your take on the Succession theme tune. And in my notes, I had written down for this song, Discordant Piano. So am I right? This is the song that's based on the Succession theme tune or inspired by?
Ding, 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 ding. That's a bingo.
I knew it.
Yeah, no, I love Succession, as do you. I finished it now, by the way. We need to catch up about that.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Oh, yes, we do.
What she got in that bag? It's ludicrously capacious.
Amazing show. Brilliant. And the theme tune just proper sets me up to, again, pour a whiskey and just dwell. So
what's the song about?
Good question. Thanks for keeping us on track. This is about...
It's almost as if I'm a professional.
It's almost like that, yeah. You are. Quick shout out to your newsletter, by the way. I read it again today. I read it every week. Mixed Messages. Whoop, whoop. Talk about that quick.
Thank you so much.
What was it about?
Mixed Messages. Whoa, we're talking about me. Mixed Messages is a weekly newsletter on the mixed race experience. So mixed race for some people, because it can be a confusing term. There's so many terms we use now. But it's, when your parents are of different ethnicities, races to each other. So I've interviewed the likes of Jordan Stevens, who is a musician. I've interviewed Nikita Oliver, TV presenter, Mandu Reid, leader of the Women's Equality Party, and Amanza from Selling Sunset. So what more could you want? Subscribe now.
It's a great newsletter, and as someone from the whitest background you could possibly imagine, it's a very good education. But yeah, your newsletter's fantastic, and it gives me an insight into a world I'd have no idea about without. So thank you. So anyway, back to me, because this is about me.
Back to you.
Back to me. So Waiting for the Fall, this is about when everything's going well, but you have mental problems. So you're constantly waiting for the fall. You're constantly like, well, I'm enjoying this sunny day at the beach, but what about Syria, Ray? Syria's bad. Not bad in general, the situation. I must clarify that. But yeah, it's just... Is it bad? I don't know. I've never been.
No, yeah, it's pretty bad. I was interviewing someone today who was talking about the good times, and when it was a haven, Syria was actually a refuge for a lot of people, and not anymore. But yeah, it's kind of like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. I always say to my therapist, I'm like, I feel really good.
Yeah, but
when is that going to stop?
That's it. That's what this song's about, which is why it's so unsettling. There's bits that are purposefully out of time. I swear down. I've made it that, so you're constantly like, hey, that kick drum should be a bit earlier. Yeah. It unsettles you, because that's how I feel. Welcome to my world. This is Waiting for the Fall.
I'm waiting for the fall. Been hanging on tender hooks. This happiness I can't recall before. Breaking news is breaking me. Never had so much to lose. I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for the fall. House shakes, plaster crumbles. The roof is caving in. It's only held up from the strength that you give me. Can't hold my mind together. Throttling smoke. I feel everybody's talking and they think I'm a joke. Oh, worse, I'm in nobody's fault at all. I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for the fall. self-destruct. The tension's killing me. Like a pet at the vet waiting to be put out of his misery. This love doesn't feel real, no, not at all. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for the fall. I'm waiting for the fall.
That was waiting for the ball. Oh, I need to burp.
You do that. It's it's a discordant song. I'm sticking with my word for that song, but it leads into dancing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So if people don't know you, Mark, I just need to let them all know you are the type of person to dance in the kitchen, to dance anywhere. You bring the fun, and I think, I mean, how deep do we want to go here? Like, I think, all of these songs talk about how you're feeling and how I'm feeling. And I think we're both two people who can bring the energy and bring the party. But there's a lot underneath. But tell me about dancing in the kitchen. Talk to me.
Okay, so you brought a lot of fun to this question, which I appreciate. But this song is very sad. So when my wife's a nurse and a rock star, and she was called on the COVID wards during COVID.
Mm.
So there were nights when she'd come home, and it was, I don't know if you remember what it was like, but it was literally, she'd get to the door, she'd knock, so I'd know she was there, so I wouldn't go out of the room I was in, then she'd come in, go into the small downstairs bathroom, strip off, put her clothes in a bag, they would go straight in the wash, then she'd give me the all clear as she jumped in the shower. It was life and death, it really was. And you'd ask her about the shift, and she'd be like, yeah, 3 people died today. And it's just like, whoa, I had a bad email. And the worry was real. Like, you didn't know if that was going to be you, or you didn't know if that was going to be a family member. You didn't know if that was going to be, someone you're close to. And it was really hard as, seeing her go through that, and worrying about, like, what if she, caught it and succumb to it, and then it was just me and my son. And dancing in the kitchen, it comes from how I would cope, which is not well, with that eventuality. Pouring a glass of red wine, dancing to Nick Cave in the kitchen alone, and you can see in the stanzas or the verses, however you want to talk about it, how she's very much alive at the start of the song and not so much by the end of the song, and it's just very sad. So yeah, I get sad on this one, and I'll probably never play it live because I cry every time.
This was a period of time where we were all tuning into the 5 o'clock updates, and we were being told a new thing every day, and we didn't understand, not that we even do now, but we didn't understand it at the time. So it very much was, I remember, I lived with my grandparents at the time, and I used to disinfect every piece of shopping that came into the house from Asda, or other supermarkets are available.
We had a weekly Zoom, didn't we? And we were trying to make light and play games and do fun things over that. And it seems like a bonkers time. I have no idea how I'm going to explain it to my son. We queued for pasta. You don't know how good you've got it in my day. Sainsbury's is not a right, it's a luxury.
Yeah, dancing in the kitchen can mean so many different things. And again, to hear you talk about how it begins and then how the song ends, and how things can change very, very quickly. I think it's just a reminder also to everyone to live life. Life is short, embrace it, do the things you want to do.
Live it sort of with a reckless abandon, you might say.
Oh,
you got
maybe
it in there.
we would. Maybe we would.
Sorry.
Well, should we recklessly hit play?
Let's do it. This is Dancing in the Kitchen, not necessarily happily. Oh, we're back. We're nearly there, is he? Can you believe it?
We are nearly there. But before we dive into the last track, I think we need to discuss you being a karaoke host.
All right. Best year of my life, you mean?
Every intro to every song, I think people need to understand that this was your job for a while.
This was, and it's funny you say that, because for those who don't know, we didn't plan this really well. We've just got like a thing of, we're going to go through the tracks, we're going to chat, because me and Izzy always have good chat. That's why we're friends. And my drink of choice when I was a karaoke host, I'll give you one guess what it is.
Was it Guinness?
It was Guinness, because Guinness, you have to drink it slowly, and it doesn't have that much of an effect on me, so I can sing well with it and just keep drinking it all night and I'll be happy. But yeah, I spent 1 year of my life working at the Cross Keys while I was working at Topshop in Barrow, being a karaoke host from 10 till 2 on a Wednesday and a Thursday after the darts.
Ooh. So what did you have, like after work groups, locals? Who was the clientele?
I'm my regulars. I had shout out to Shaz on the darts team, who made me sing Time of Your Life from Dirty Dancing every week for the whole year I was there. First time I arrived, I was setting up the PA and the guy was showing me how to do it and everything, because it's my first time. And then she came up and she went, "All right, when you're ready, time of your life, you're Swayze." I'm like, "What?"
You did it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did it. Of course I did. It's my job. So
what was your favourite song to sing on karaoke? And do I want to guess, or do I already know?
Let's guess. I like this guessing game.
Right, we could guess. Right, everyone listening. I'm gonna take you back. Maybe again, I don't know how long we've known each other. I'm gonna take you back 8 years longer. And take you back 9 years.
I know what story you're about to tell.
It's a Saturday. It's a Wednesday. We're students. Who knows?
It's a Thursday. It was a Thursday. I know exactly what you're about.
We're going to Casablanca, which is a live music kind of jazzy club where they would play live versions of kind of all your favourite songs. And one evening, we'd had a few drinks. Mark was on the red wine. I don't know what I was drinking. And they go, hey, does anyone know the lyrics to Purple Rain? I've never seen Mark move quicker while he shouted, "Yes, I do! Yes, I do!" He ran up on stage, took that mic, and then gave the performance of his life. It will go down in history. I will never forget Mark Docherty performing Purple Rain at Casablanca's. So let me ask you again. Favourite karaoke song, Mark?
It's not Purple Rain. With a live band, that was different, because we had a band at Bandioki, so it was a band playing it, so I could vibe off the band. It wasn't just me and a tape machine. And people need to know this, all right?
I think the band was integral, and it was the what do you call it? It was the never.
No, it was reaching out to the crowd and shouting, "I know, times are changing.
That
you gotta reach out for you. That means you too."
I mean, honestly, I will never forget that moment. Wait, let me have another guess. Your favourite karaoke song?
So bear in mind, length is important, and that song is I think.
Mark, it's not about the size. Don't worry.
It's how you use it. Whee!
Length is important. So it's a short song. I can't think of any. Give me a clue.
Male singer.
Better clue.
Hasn't released a massive hit within the last 20 years. I think that's fair to say.
I am going to have to give up, unless you're talking about Morrissey, and the reason he hasn't released a hit
No.
in the last few years is political.
Oh, God, that was a disappointment.
Allegedly.
Yeah. You know, he was friends with Russell Brand. Anyway.
Current
affairs.
Allegedly, I have a job to keep.
Allegedly. All alleged. No. So let's go old school. Male singer. Had his own TV show at one point.
Had his own TV show?
Welsh.
Oh, it's not unusual.
Close. It was Delilah. Which I now realise is very controversial. But wasn't 10 years ago. I brought the house down, mate. Every time.
What was Tom Jones' TV show?
The Tom Jones show. He had his own TV show. It's on YouTube, mate. Check it out. Honestly, that's a trip. He wears the weirdest clothes. It's brilliant. It's in full Technicolor. There's a clip of him on a boat with like weird denim hot pants. It's great. It's such a good show. He was just a proper old school entertainer with Mr. Tom Jones. He could sing, he could dance.
Speaking of denim hot pants, track 12 track 12 on the album has actually nothing to do with denim hot pants.
Nothing at all.
But it is the final song on the album. It's Death by 1,000 Cuts. And as a journalist, it's often something I say to myself when I file a piece that is way over the word count. But tell me about this song. Where did it come from? What's it about? And why is it the song that's rounding out this album?
So this is a callback to Cole Porter and Chet Baker and the classic songsmiths, people who are like, they do this properly. You know, like I think the Beatles themselves would admit they just ripped it off and did it their own way. Like it goes back to when songwriting itself as a craft was respected and trying to kind of mimic that style. So I didn't go to nursery. I went to my granddad's house, and at granddad's house we listened to jazz. We listened to cool records. He let me play the organ. He let me play the piano, like whatever.
Let's pause.
Mm-hmm.
Your granddad had an organ.
Oh, did he? He had many.
This is not a normal. I don't know if this is a normal thing for someone to have, unless you're a priest.
He retired and was just like, I'm going to learn the organ. So he didn't play it growing up, but when he retired, he was like, I'm getting an organ. So he got an organ.
What size is this organ?
It's about the same size as the piano, but just double and then massive. And so it's put it this way, Izzy, there was an organ room.
Because this is the thing, I've only ever seen organs I went to a grammar school, so my school hall, but then churches, and they're quite big.
All right, so they're pipe organs, so they are big. This is an electronic organ, so it's not.
Okay. All right.
I could fit one in this room if I really had to. Yeah.
Oh, okay, quite big.
It would be tight though. And he later in life did get this thing called a Lowry, which was massive. It would come out to here on me, which is about, for those at home, half the room I'm in, which is a standard box room. And it had an applause button on it, so when you finished, you could press it and just bask in the fake applause. It was fantastic.
I would do that constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just needed to really confirm about this organ, but please carry on. So you used to play organ and piano.
Yeah. At Granddad's house, and we used to listen to these old classic songs, Frank Sinatra, Chet Baker, whatever jazz radio station you tuned into. I have no idea what it was, but it was brilliant. Glenn Miller. Yeah, whatever. It was something great. So yeah, I've always like harked back to those old style, like, you know, songs and crooners and all that thing. And this was just my like homage to him, and just a kind of meditation on the whole recording the album process. Like it was hard, it was worthwhile, but I'm really glad I did it.
So before we wrap up, let's listen to Death by 1,000 Cuts.
Do you sometimes sit and grieve for all the things you won't achieve? Wallow in the sewer of self-doubt. Waste the day wondering when you'll have life figured out. When your best isn't good enough, this tired life is just death by 1,000 cuts. What's that done with?
And that was Death by 1,000 Cuts. We're back. I love
Mark,
we should present radio. We should do this. This is great.
Weekly show. As soon as you pay my debt, I'm yours. So this was the album, together it is 12 songs.
Yeah.
They work together, they tell a story, they have a message, but equally they're very individual and they're very different. So what are your final thoughts? What do you want people to take away from listening to this record? Do you want them to press shuffle?
No.
Never.
But I understand if they want to. I'm an album. Again, it comes back to what I was saying at the start. I'm an album guy. I like albums in the order they're supposed to be listened to. I like vinyl. If I had my way, I'd have pressed this on vinyl, but, struggling musicians can't press stuff on vinyl willy-nilly. But maybe the next album. So if you like this, I've got a couple of projects up and coming. So I'm working on an EP with Linear.
Oh, wow, yes.
So we've got a whole thing planned that I've talked about previously, but I'm going to keep it all mysterious now so you care about it.
Linear, for people who might not know, let's just explain for people at home. Maddie Jones, an amazing female vocalist.
She is, and songwriter in her own right. So I work with her. I make her music. And we were in Team New Band together. We were in Harry Debbie together. And then when I went on my solo stuff, I wanted to keep working with her, and she wanted the same. So she'd send me like a rough thing of a song. I'd make the music, send it back to her. She does the vocals, and we ping pong it back and forth. And yeah, there's just an EP that I've had in my mind for a while about like a couple. And it's I haven't settled on the title yet, but I think it's going to be His Side, Her Side, The Truth.
Ooh.
And it's about the different elements, like 3 songs, the different sides and how they relate, and then the truth, the climax. And we might film some videos. It might be really fun. So
very
that's
exciting.
One project I'm working on. The second is I've went through all my old notebooks the other day. Just had a little bit of I tied in my office basically. And I was just like, I got wrapped up in going through old songs and old notes and just trying to see, is there any gold in here? Any good stuff? So I found some stuff, and I've got enough, I think, for a stripped back EP. So I'm going to release something in the same vein as Bourbon Tangerine, just me playing guitar and singing and just doing 3 songs, maybe 4. Put that out, and then next album, Kill Your Heroes, is on its way. I'm looking upwards right now at a whiteboard which has all of my notes on it for what I'm working on at the minute. And yeah, we're about 9 songs in.
Can you describe the upcoming album in 3 words?
Simpler, epic, rockin'.
Perfect. But where can we listen to this album? Remind everyone where Reckless Abandon is available.
It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. It's like a virus. It's on Spotify. It's on Instagram. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Music. It's on Amazon.
Deezer.
It's on Deezer. Can't forget Deezer. Tidal. It's on Napster. Napster's still a thing for some people.
Mark, is this on LimeWire?
Yeah, it's back in time, mate. This will give me...
So it's my MySpace profile song.
It'll
it's my
ruin your family
MSN
computer.
status.
Oh, we're old.
So please do go and listen to it. Thank you so much, Mark, for talking us through everything. And thank you to Sea House. I was going to call them Seahorse. Do that.
It happens. No, I'm leaving this in because this happens. We chat about this on the director's chat, and yeah, it's a thing. People call it Seahorse all the time. Don't worry about it.
Sea House, Seahorse, thank you. And yeah, I really hope everyone listening enjoys the album. Mark, thank you again. I cannot wait to see what comes next. And I'm going to WhatsApp you in like 5 minutes. So
thank you very much for doing this. Big love to Isabella Slivers. Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, check out the album. And I've got a couple of live shows coming up in Barrow for Barrow Music Week on the 1st of October at Sea House Records Showcase at Barrow Underground Music Society. And then again that following same week on the 7th at Dalton Road, I believe. We're outside for some reason. But yeah, the Forum are doing it, so it should be a decent stage.
Where can people follow Sea House?
We're everywhere, baby.
Give me a handle.
We're just at Sea House Records on Facebook, on Instagram. They'll be on my profile. If you go to www.markdocherty.com, that's MarkDocherty.com, you can find out all about it there, and you can find out about merch. Please buy my merch, and then I can make an album for you again. And you love this one, so why don't you buy a t-shirt and make me another one? Come on.
I've got a poster on my wall. I love it.
You do. Yeah, absolutely bad. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, everyone, for listening, if you're still here.
Thank you.
And yeah, love you. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
It's the Seacast.